position a little bit. Horizon has been the map for that. With the Sombra far every now and then, Sombra Doomfist on Hanamura, but Horizon has definitely been a bit different.
Seen quite a bit of the Junkrat here. I say quite a bit. I mean, it's maybe like 1 out of 4 maps of Horizon, but it's where you are going to see it if you're going to see it.
Hey man, that's 25%.
Yeah. Well, we have seen for the
Give
majority
me the
of this.
fielder, please.
I saw a Symmetra played by North America on this map last week. It was on B to try to kind of snowball, teleport in, and get the DPS of the Zarya Ryan on top of the back line, but at the very end of it, it wasn't as effective as I think that the original plan was. We will see fielder swap. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on your perspective on that. For me, I'm thinking fortunately.
For their sake, maybe not for our entertainment though.
Yeah. So far, we're seeing Widow, Sombra here, but I think it's just a scout thing, and then they're going to swap.
Could be.
Yeah.
Jump back. Here we are.
Here we are. What a meta. So vibrant with versatility of variances.
The top teams are, you know, for the most part. The last sparkle about his Doomfist, push around the corner here. For that pin, Ion not gonna find anything. Actually get themselves into a corner, and Alpha E will just get taken down.
Great start for KongDoo.
Yeah, really rough positioning there. Thought maybe Alpha E thought that's where the staircase was because he doesn't play on Horizon that often. But either way, they're in onto the point. True finds a pin on the Daydream. Ion eliminated. 100 energy here for Merit. Just going to be burning them down, and that will be a very fast cap onto the point here for KongDoo Panthera. About 7 minutes on the clock as they get this completion.
Yeah, I'm guessing Alfie was hoping the rest of his squad was going to collapse and save him. And that's why he stayed out there instead of trying to kind of kite back and get onto the point. But either way, that's a free 7-minute time bank here nearly for KongDoo Panthera. They've got the grab ready. Like, we're in double cap territory here. GC Busan Wave has a trance in just a second, but it's not ready yet. If they end up losing fielder, or if this trance isn't perfectly timed, we could see an insane time bank.
The pin coming down. Ooh, take Merit so low, but now he's going to be top back up, has the grab online. Huge save there. Red Sentence, however, going to be burned. Graviton thrown in, eaten, taken away by Red Sentence. Thank you very much. There goes your snowball. At least for now, it would seem that way. Ritz waking to the back, keeping himself alive, now has that self-destruct on the line. And you see Busan Wave push back forward. Entering Shatter, not going to find anything for Ion this time. The sound barrier as well, hoping to keep the members of KongDoo Panthera alive as they look to turn things around. Bombs out from both of these divas. Kleston, however, finds Ritz in pilot form, denies him a remech, which they want to pick up here onto Edison, and maybe KongDoo Panthera might actually be able to get this snowball a little bit delayed from what they would have liked originally, but the ticks will start coming through. Ion having to play this one out slowly. 2 ticks now going to be surrendered. GC Busan Wave, and they actually drag this one out. Ritz goes in, jumps up into the air. Wrecking Ball going to be coming through for Edison as Ritz gets popped out of the mech, melted down, as does Ion. KongDoo Panthera still looking fantastic. The pile driver going to be massive. The shield a little bit bigger. Transcendence here from Fielder as he tries to just keep them alive and in the mix here, but Daydream will be taken down. The shield's going to expire. Field's going to get popped, and that's going to be the cleanup onto Edison and the cap in the end for KongDoo Panthera. Started off catastrophically with that eat on the grab, but Merit actually builds up another one very swiftly afterward.
Yeah, it's just good bubble management, good energy management there from Merit. It's crazy that Ritz was able to absorb that. He was definitely at maximum range for eating it, but he was just looking in the right spot with the defense matrix furthest point of absorption kind of facing in that direction. But this is great for KongDoo Panthera, despite that, as you say, like that one rough start for them. He built a second grab, has that high energy, burns through all the members of GC Busan Wave who were not prepared to deal with that push after the Alpha E incident where he was caught and slain alone. So now their defense, you know, KongDoo Panthera's defense can basically net them almost default a better time bank if they can buy, you know, a push or 2 of time on A, and then obviously have a normal setup on B. We wondered with their map pick, would we see something weird here on the defense, like, you know, a Widow? Would we see Junkrat, anything like that? The answer is no. Somewhat surprisingly here, it's just going to be 3-3. And maybe they had something else planned, but with their great time bank, they feel like, hey, let's just min-max this, honestly. We were going to try something different, but let's just run this instead because we've already got such a great time bank.
Yep.
And that happens a lot where you have a strategy prepared, but when you look at the time, as the second defending team, you're like, well, I might as well not risk it, because if that fails, then they could match our time bank.
Well, GC, are they up to that task? Let's find out. 5:22, the time to beat. Pretty darn good one. And if they are able to come close to matching it, if not beating it, then I think we're going to be in for several rounds of OT here on horizon. Drew going low, does manage to stay alive, but Choice A1 this time going to get picked off, given a similar treatment that Alpha E received on their own defense. In onto the point, looking for another pin. This time Drew looking to match. They both hit the ground, push around the side. Edison gets a pop out on Eccleston's Met. Looking forward. Bubble's going to be coming in. Merritt ends up killing himself with that right click. Will be burned down, and that will be the cap coming through for GC Busan Wave.
Look at Edison, man. He's already on B. You could see from that fire strike.
He's ready for the snowball. Agatha so very low.
Yeah, that would have been huge if they get that kill. But look at this. They are ready to end this right now. Agatha, he survives. He will have the trance. But GC Busan Wave, they're going to have to rotate back because he didn't get that kill. Built up a lot of energy, but they're going to take the low ground approach now. True, super far forward.
Pushing around the side. Ion now nearly with the shatter online. Does have it ready to go. See when he wants to slam it down. Drops the hammer. Catches so many members that scored it forward here by Fielder. Now the Graviton Surge coming in. The bomb going to be dropped in. Sound barrier out from Costos. Desperately trying to keep them in the fight, and so far it's going to be working a treat. Over Merritt will be picked off. True taking a bit of damage here. Does get the kill onto Ion. Rally out from Choice A1, helping to armor up that Rhine. They stay alive in the fight, and GC Busan Wave cannot get that instant snowball cap.
Yeah, and with one more defense, KongDoo Panthera will take the time bank lead, worst case scenario. So that was a very, very nice hold for them. Agatha doing a ton of damage there behind. We watched this first-person view. When you get stuck and halted on the staircase there after your initial attack, after your initial grab fails, that's when the Zenyatta is going to start to do real damage, because you either commit in and try to get some ult charge as you die, or you back away. And either way, Zen wins.
Push down here, pin coming through. Merritt going to get picked off by Fielder. Transcendence out from Agatha. Keep everybody else alive. Ion will be dropping the hammer. Both of these Rhines looking for the shatters. Choice A1 going to be taken down. Looking for the pin. Cleston will get taken out of this mech here. One final swipe from Ion. Finds it. He's getting closer and closer to that next Earth Shatter. First tick going to be gained. Could be a photo finish here as far as who has a superior time bank.
Looks
Second
like
tick coming through. Choice A1 swapping over onto the Doomfist. Can't even get the uppercut off. Fielder just takes him out. The near cap coming through. 2-second difference. Seems like it will in fact be KongDoo Panthera having the superior time bank, but it might not be that significant here. Also stashing around, looking to extend this a little bit further. Shatter will come down. They lock up the Lucio. They take him out. That will be the cap here from GC Busan Wave.
Yeah, I think about 10 seconds, 15 seconds behind. But those are small, insignificant seconds in the grander scheme of things, because we could see even both teams grab B again in our first set of extra rounds. Absolutely a possibility. In fact, I'd say
how deep
a high
does
chance.
this rabbit hole go?
Yeah. So it's once again, I think, about how well you could defend A, because neither team had any chance at that. Both times we saw the cap taken off of a Brigida pick on A immediately on the first push. So to differentiate yourself, you really need to buy some extra time, perhaps even play a little bit more defensively and try to tag back onto the point. The problem with this map, if you compare it to Hanamura, is that if you're thinking, okay, well, let's just stay back and then come on and contest and we can buy some time, then you're just going to give them a double cap, like for sure, because they're going to have way too many ultimates. It snowballs so crazily. So sometimes it's better to actually, after your Brigida dies, just run away to B. Right-click as fast as you can if you're the Zarya who's running backwards, literally, to B, so that you could match the Zarya grab as the Zenyatta. It's the same thing, trying to get that trance up so you can counter it. High ground setup here. It's a little bit of a variation for KongDoo Panthera. We'll defend first. 12 seconds inferior the time bank for GC Busan Wave. But they can, you know, if they get that opening pick, take this point just as fast as they previously did.
Pushing their way out. Shield Bash is going to be coming through. True knocked down. We're back, helping to keep him alive, but Merritt, a sliver of HP. Cleston can't hold on to the backfire strike going through.
Huge
Gets
one.
the kill there onto the Zarya. 70% already here for Ion. Looking for that pin. Almost has it. Almost knocks True right in front of himself. Would have been absolutely huge. Still, looking pretty good. Final swipe there onto Lucio. Does give him the Earth Shatter. Edison 61% of the way towards that grab. GC Busan Wave going to be looking for the snowball on the first push this time. Nearly will bump themselves up to 5 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of the win here is off Daydream. He comes behind them, he gets the right click there, traps some of the members of KongDoo. The Lucio players making a lot of a bigger impact recently. Big shatter, triple.
Absolutely huge. Does lock up 3, but cannot get forward far enough to get those kills. It's going to be True, but they lose Fielder.
Just going back to that point about Daydream, he gets behind them, he sets up that initial pick, but this time the follow-up push, you know, they can't get on top of the point itself. Edison's going to have a grab. So that is going to be what Agatha wants to answer. He doesn't have it ready yet. Stun.
Yeah. Edison's still going to be okay. 100 energy, looking for an opportunity. True nearly getting taken down.
Pillar.
Pin in onto the pillar. Bomb straight up into the front. Shield's coming down. They push him to the side, and Ritz gets a triple kill. Choice A1, Agatha and True all going to be eliminated. Now pop out here onto Cleston's mech. Merritt going to be cleaned up as well as soon as that bubble gets popped. Choice A1 swapping over to the Doom yet again. Kostos using the sound barrier solo onto himself just to try to stay alive to get back over onto the point, but will not be given the opportunity. 2 ticks already going to be gained. Jump back in for Choice A1, but mowed down by this Diva. Shatter out again from Ion, locks him up. Cleston's dead. That'll be the finish, 338.
Merritt unable to get on there to ice block on the point. This is exactly what GC Busan Wave was looking for, the fast snowball cap. Despite the first push there on B, kind of not hitting the mark, the shatter is good, but they can't get onto it. But it's the follow-up grab that comes through big time for them before Agatha has time to build that Transcendence. It would have been absolutely essential to have there, simply not ready in time. And again, we have to kind of repeatedly say this, but it just will continue to be true. For this next attack, if GC Busan Wave can defend even one push, that should alone be enough to set them apart in terms of time bank. We haven't seen a single successful defense of A yet. Last time, Daydream setting up the kind of cutoff there with the Lucio, punishing the fact that KongDoo Panthera was so forward, so aggressively looking for an opening kill. And then, you know, getting stuck out there as a result when it didn't work out. That's just showing us how far that beam goes. And for the attack on the side of KongDoo Panthera, they're going to look to just kind of match, again, that opening kill, swing around, get onto the point, and double cap. If they can't do that, you know, they'll be the first team to lose that race, and the map will end. As we see swaps coming through, surprise, surprise. Always got to check though. Swinging around the side here, checking to see, okay, is there a forward position? No. Now wrapping around, looking for that opening pick. Eye on the target.
Yep. Get the stun in onto him. He's going to miss the pin. Can they get the punish? Still swinging away. Ion falling dangerously low, but True is as well. KongDoo Panthera will just stabilize for the moment. Cleston disconnected over onto the side. Orb of Harmony slowly ticking him up.
Already the worst attack on A, starting to feel really pressuring for KongDoo Panthera. Nice burst heals from Alpha E to keep Ion alive. He's the target again. He's discorded, but they can't get him.
Yeah, both of them going to be hitting the ground. Zarya Bubbles helping to keep these Rhines alive, but Ion will be taken out here at the end. Merritt coming up with that kill. A lot of damage pushed forward onto Ritz and the supports as well. You see Busan Wave trying to kite back, trying to stay alive. Fielder holding onto the Transcendence, could buy some time, but might have to give up a couple ticks here on the A, if not just hold it for B. Looks like they are kiting all the way back.
Yeah, this is the moment where Ritz is like, do you guys want me to buy a few more seconds? I think we've done enough. We've actually had the most successful defense on A thus far. Back off. Edison right clicks for the grab. He's got that lead, despite the fact that they lose A, and that's a rare sight, you know, to have the defender have the advantage as the B push happens. Only slightly, but he's got one. Rallies matched here as they're going to take the left approach. Both teams with Transcendence.
Looking for the pin. That's going to be Alpha E dropped off the bat. The Shatter coming down. Locks up 3. Edison going to be taken out. Graviton Surge now goes ahead. Seizes up those front line tanks. They are eliminated. Daydream trying to find his way in, hounded down at the moment by Kleston.
He can't get on here, I don't think.
Well, this is going to be a push forward. Alpha Yi here with that wrecking ball, trying to stay alive. The cap getting ready to come through. Fielder joins in at long last with the Transcendence. Graviton Surge coming down. Edison investing that bomb out from Kleston. Not going to find anything to shatter. Will only find one as soon as they want to hit the ground. But the sound barrier is going to be out from both Lucios, keeping their team top up. Ritz dumping the bomb up into the air, desperately looking for a pickoff. True going to be eliminated. Ritz cannot remech, however, as Agatha finds the kill. So very close, 98.4%. Kostos coming up with a kill onto Ion. Busan Wave hemorrhaging members here at the moment. They step off for a brief moment there. Edison tries to make his way back in, but the double cap will be there. We'll go to round 2.
Not a big surprise, but hey, they ended up getting the better time bank. Busan Wave.
Yep.
Once again, off of that A defense more than the B defense, which ended up going very poorly for them. Off of a really good shatter from True. If Edison doesn't get shattered there, then he gets to grab, Transcendence gets to be forced, they buy more time, they get the respawns coming through, but Busan Wave got the full, KongDoo got the full wipe off of that shatter, and just barely was Wrecking Ball able to tag in there, and then buy some time to, otherwise we were in a world where actually KongDoo almost got the better time bank there, because they were keeping Daydream gated out. He couldn't get in to tag. It's 12 seconds though. I mean, we're not talking about the biggest difference in the world here. Like, we're talking about one of the smallest you could ever see. And yet, there's still a pretty high chance that we'll see double caps again. So just looking for that one team to have the perfect A defense where they burn through a minute and a half, 2 minutes. That's like the win condition. Otherwise, we just kind of go down to the very, very end, and we may even see a draw with how this map is going so far. That would not be enough for KongDoo Panthera. They need a big win here. They're on the attack first on the second round of extra rounds. Overtime, whatever you want to call them, overtime rounds.
Yeah. Extra OT. Let's see how they're going to fare. Up around the corner. Ion and Ritz both getting tagged up quite a bit. Kleston nearly popped out of the mech, and now True going to be under fire. True comes back up. Barely managed to hold on to that Diva.
They're kiting back to the point. Busan Wave not losing anyone here, so this is a great position for them to fight from.
They finally get HP back over onto Kleston. Now pushing forward. Ion under fire. Getting focused out. True going to be dropped, however. Now Kostos gone. Fantastic start to this defense here for Busan Wave. Edison pushing out. 90 energy. Right clicks coming down. Nearly has the grab online. This is where things could start really unraveling for KongDoo Panthera.
Yeah, this is the first real defense period on this map. Alpha Yi is making sure Ion gets burst healed at the last second so many times. He's basically baiting them. In that last fight, we saw him up at the front down to like 5% health. He gets healed up. Everyone starts dying in the back of KongDoo Panthera. Kleston has to swap here, so loses his ult charge. That's also frustrating. But this feels like a win already if you're Busan Wave. They've got the grab.
They're bubbled through, building up the energy. Oh, Kleston takes that one away. Edison does not get the grab, but they still have to punish. Pushing forward, high energy, helps melt down True. They alleviate the pressure for the next assault, but still, things look brutal for KongDoo at the moment.
Don't get me wrong, you want to eat those grabs if you can, but if it's going to cost you your team fight when you're that far forward to do it, doesn't end up being a winning trade. As you say, there's no grab for the next fight or anything like that now, but already a great, insanely successful defense here for Busan Wave. Ritz holds this self-destruct because he didn't have to swap. Did more damage.
Looking for the shatter, slams it down, does manage to lock up Kleston, but now it's going to be an answering Graviton Surge out from Merit. Locks him in, sound barrier through for Busan Wave. Destruct into the air, Ritz for a pick, not going to find it. Now responding barrier out from Kostos. KongDoo Panthera looking to counter push, and Merit finds the first kill as Ion will go down. Making their way up over onto the point. 75 energy here from Merit. They help melt Ritz out of that mech. Sure that the pilot is killed off. They get rid of her. And now it's going to be a push for the ticks coming in. Busan Wave kiting back to B. They know that this one is lost, but KongDoo Panthera going to have less than a minute and a half.
Now it's realistic that Busan Wave could expect to hold this to overtime. They know that KongDoo Panthera had to use more ults than them on that A cap. They still hold their own Graviton Surge. Agatha, they could expect, still doesn't have that trance, so they could go for a forward grab. Not going to happen though, going to react instead. Look for the fight on the point.
The way up, True getting tagged up. Big shatter going to be coming up, and it's going to be massive, but can he get into a position to capitalize. Kleston is. Rockets come out, they take down Ion. Graviton Surge used by Edison again, not sure if it really caught anybody. Might have been eaten again. It looks like it was. Kleston going to be dumping the bomb into the back, looking for a pickoff, unable to find it. Ritz, however, takes down True in the front line. KongDoo Panthera suffering a bit as far as the tanks are concerned as Kleston is knocked out of the mech yet again. The back of that pin there from Ion. Fielder finds Choice A1. Costa's going to be knocked out of there. Merit into the back of the point will be eliminated as Ritz comes up with a double in the back of his self-destruct. For this 30 seconds remaining, that tick nearly gained, but KongDoo can't quite get it.
For this next push, they're going to look to shove them off the point. Edison can actually grab them and prevent them from tagging on. If they split, then they're going to collapse on whoever tries to tag the point. So this is lose-lose for KongDoo Panthera. Who's it going to be here? They're actually going to take the high ground. GC Busan Wave backs away. Wants to wait for that defensive engage.
Looking for that drop pin, but unable to find it. Graviton Surge over onto the side. Edison locking up 3. Choice A1 dead, despite the Transcendence. It's not enough to keep him alive. Costas, however, about to have a sound barrier ready to go. Alpha E gonna get hit the ground, does get taken out as Kleston finds the kill. Fielder now popping a Transcendence of his own. The Graviton Surge is gonna be coming through the bomb, straight in on top of them. No way to deny this explosion, and Ritz will get knocked out of the mech. Fielder taken down as well. They kite their way back. The point gonna be opened up for KongDoo for the moment. One tick nearly gonna be gained. Now have it online, halfway to the second one. How much can GC Busan Wave give away from free? They finally start trying to push forward. Half HP here for Ion. The swings come down, he'll be eliminated. Ritz gonna be gone. Edison unable to be there, unable to contest this, and KongDoo will get this completion.
And now, because the completion is in overtime, as GC Busan Wave has the best defense we've seen this map, because of the overtime completion, GC Busan Wave, if they get A and are heading towards B, with any time bank on B, they win the series, because the best case scenario for KongDoo Panthera is a tie if that happens because of the overtime finish. So KongDoo is looking for the better hold even than what GC Busan just had on A. They really need that time bank to go away. If they hold on A, they win. The series is still alive for them, but a tie is not going to cut it. Very similar to our previous series on Hanamura with MVP Space. They need to win this map, not tie it. So unfortunately for GC Busan Wave, they weren't able to stop B there after a pretty heroic delay, but they're still very happy about the results, putting that into a 0 time bank scenario. So for KongDoo Panthera, once again, they're playing aggressively forward here. It could backfire. Remember last time they tried this, they got cut in half by Daydream's right click, the speed boost that followed. They ended up losing the point right afterwards. They're going to stay on the low ground just like last time. And GC Busan Wave is not even messing around with scouting. They are just going to rush out 3-3. They expect KongDoo has to be running this, and they see it right away.
Yep, work their way back around the corner.
Look at Daydream again on the side.
Looking for that charge. Ritz hitting the ground. Ion, ooh, holds on by a thread. Healer's struggling to try to top him back up.
So far, so good for KongDoo. They do control the high ground here.
Push forward again here. Ritz not going to get pinned. Choice A1 going to be taken down. Fielder opening things up. Now True going to be eliminated as the Diva charges forward. Building up closer and closer to that self-destruct. Already at 70%. Kleston will get popped out. And GC Busan Wave going to have all the time in the world to try to push in onto B.
Yeah, this was a great start for KongDoo. They slowed the first push. They had the high ground there, but the kill onto Agatha was just too much. Or sorry, the kill with Fielder was just too much for them. And then once the tank line started to fall apart, Ritz was just mowing them down as we saw his first-person view, maximizing the damage here. It's going to have to be a long hold for KongDoo now.
Shots coming down. Transcendence to open things here for Agatha. Ion under fire, but Fielder now going to be matching with a Transcendence of his own. Edison has the Graviton Surge online, rallying call out from Alpha Yi to armor them up. Shatter going to get dropped in. The bomb is there. True going to get picked off. 3 members going to be dead. Grab, however, from the side of KongDoo Panthera doesn't find anything at all. Agatha's just sitting back in the stairwell off to the side, now up to the high ground, hounded down, taken out by Daydream. Cap getting ready to come through, second tick nearly grabbed up. Merit going to be eliminated. Costos using the sound barrier, solo ult onto himself. Kleston desperately swamping over onto the May to try to buy some more time. Second tick has been gained. True gets melted down instantly as he joins in onto the point. The GC Busan Wave are looking for the finish. They're looking for time in the bank. The May, the wall is going to expire. The ice block going to be gone. Looking for the finish, and they are going to find it. Merritt pushing back in. Adaptive shield already popped. He'll be melted down. That might just be the finish right here as they zone them back one after the other. They get the completion here.
And that's the series. GC Busan Wave can only be drawn now. And KongDoo Panthera watches their chances of playoffs fade away. It's no longer up to them to make it through.
And, you know, not looking good, obviously.
Yeah.
For KongDoo Panthera, but Stormquake, they're sitting at home and they are starting to feel pretty darn good. They can have a solid series versus Gen G. Could just go ahead and lock their spot down. Actually, if KongDoo Panthera had gotten 4-0'd here, Stormquake would have auto-qualified into the playoffs. So they're actually going to be salty now.
Well, you know, GC Busan Wave, all they have to do is grab a single tick here, and then they're going to take the 3-0. Then they can look for the 4-0 for, you know, obviously we do play for each individual map is worth money in this league. So there's more than just like, okay, haha, I won the series, like I'm getting second place. The rest of this is meaningless. But for KongDoo Panthera, there's nothing left here. I mean, every map counts. They need this draw to limit how many points they're going to go down here. If they could draw this and then win the final map, then hey, that's only a 1-up for GC Busan Wave and 1 down for them. So that's the hope. Yeah. But, you know, look, they're even running a non-traditional comp here to try to throw GC Busan Wave off and hope to burn through that very small time bank. Very similarly to what MVP Space did in order to take the win on Hanamura, just the opposite side of things on the defense. Oh, we will have some swaps coming through in response to the Pharah Sombra, so we'll be Edison on the Tracer and Alpha Yi here with the Sombra. Alpha Yi just totally changed his role, man. I like how he's playing so far. His Brigida has been phenomenal in keeping Ion alive. He's playing the Sombra now.
Edison hunting. There's something here, and already Alpha Yi just takes out Agatha, instantly melts him down. Good angle, Edison finds the Mercy. Costa's gonna get dropped with the help of Ritz. Pushing forward, Ion, however, eliminated by Choice A1. Ritz able to come for the kill, answering back there onto the Pharah. The mech, a sliver of HP for Cleston. They finally do manage to,
got to touch this.
They finally managed to push him out. Ritz trying to desperately cap this one. The hack nearly coming in onto Edison. He manages to recall out of there, now going to be rejoining. Burns down Merritt, the final smack to the face. And that will be it. Pulse bomb to try to zone them off. They actually do tag in for the moment, but now Agatha's not there. It's going to be the victory. GC Busan Wave. They lock down the series.
It quite literally a zoning pulse bomb there.
But 7 points gained on Horizon right there by them.
Yep. Well, I mean, I guess 6 and like 1/3. Yes.
Yeah, 6 and 1/3, but technically like basically 7.
Yeah. The zoning pulse was my favorite part. He was like, ha, don't stand on this point. You can't get in here. Well, that is it, man. What a tragic night for KongDoo Panthera. They started off with such a competitive map of Lijiang. And as we went into Numbani, they had a great attack to start things off with the dive. But after that, it just all went downhill. They couldn't push the cart far. They started making some small decision mistakes. They're on the defense of Numbani, letting that go through for free basically at the end. And then on Horizon, very competitive map. But at the end of the day, they could not maintain efficiency on the attack there. GC Busan Wave was the first team to finally crack the attack and have a solid defense, burn through the time bank there to force worst case scenario for them, a draw, which meant that KongDoo was already, their tombstone was already laid out and written before we even had that final attack with the Tracer coming through from Edison. And this final map, anything, we could see anything. The map choice doesn't matter that much. And given how KongDoo just played that last defense, I mean, we could see quad DPS Route 66. We could see some weird Hanzo Divalist stuff on Dorado. But one thing's for sure, I think GC Busan Wave is walking away with a 4-0. It feels that way.
You know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Wolf, but even with a 1-3 record here for KongDoo Panthera, that would make them even with Stormquake if Stormquake loses 0-4 to Gen G and Stormquake beat KongDoo Panthera in their series. I think Stormquake has just made their way into the round of 8.
I think you might be right, just looking at the scribblings on paper.
I think that they are now 100% locked in, especially if there is the 0-4 loss here for KongDoo Panthera. And then it would be up to Stormquake to maybe spoil KongDoo Panthera's arrival if they lose to Gen G.
Yeah.
It'd be a miracle run for Gen G to make their way into the playoffs.
Just looking at this, yeah, no, you would actually be correct. It's -5. Yeah. So that. I just want to check one more thing really quick for.
Yeah, I want to say this without being 100% on. I mean, I'm not 100% on. I'm kind of saying it, but if you have the asterisk saying that I could be incorrect here, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I think you're right, but it also would mean that even with the win on Escort, Gen G wins with any score, KongDoo would be out. So
yep, even a 3-2 would be okay. If this is the 0-4, then Gen G could even lose with a 2-3 score line.
Yes, and
qualify forward into the round of 8. So pressure is really, really on for KongDoo to at least pick up this final map of Escort, and if they cannot do that, I mean, Gen G still unlikely to take down Stormquake, I suppose, but in a much better position.
Yeah, Delight subbing in as well. It's kind of a funny thing, too, because you feel like if you win this map and then it's kind of in Stormquake's hands, but because you lost this series, Stormquake's in already, you at least feel like the team you want to... It's awkward because the team you want to win is like the team that just got in because you lost, and they have not as much to fight for, actually, against Gen G. So you're kind of like, you're really feeling odd about this. We're going to see Jonggu subbed in as well. I've seen this before.
It didn't go well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not a bad player by any means or anything like that.
Oh, actually, that was Alpha Yi and Jonggu swapped in, I believe.
That's right. It wasn't exactly this way,
yeah.
But it was Jonggu subbed in for Edison, and that's when the quad DPS came out for Stormquake, and the series did not end with a 4-0 victory for GC Busan Wave, as I think they were hoping for it to. I believe he also played one map of Dorado, unless I'm mixing up the maps earlier, and they were able to take the 4-0, I think, against Gen G, if I'm not mistaken. That was like
could be
week
wrong,
1 or week 2.
I can investigate.
Yeah. Achilios has like a ledger of literally every meter and every time bank that's like ever happened. He writes everything down.
I try to keep everything down to the very meter and second when it comes down to control and everything like that. But yeah, I just got to find the map.
Yeah, it was back. You know, in one of our first weeks. The atmosphere, you know, no surprises here, is pretty weak for KongDoo Panthera at the moment. Once a titan of a team, defending finalist of Season 2 of Contenders, you know, Season 3 of Apex finalists against Lunatic High, but this season could be their worst season on history. They cannot make playoffs. They're able to do even that in Season 1. But right now, it is looking like it is lights out. One last map to go against the sub of Jonggu. Can they do it on Route 66?
All right, will be Route 66. The Dorado you were talking about, I believe, was versus Meta Athena. And it was Alpha Yi and Jonggu were the two playing. So I actually don't know if we've ever had this combo.
Yeah. Yeah, I just meant that Jonggu won that map, whereas he failed the second one.
Yes.
Where they got quad DPS'd. Everyone got really excited.
Yep, Stormquake. Done messed him up.
Well, you know, Ritz is teasing some Soldier. I would love to see it.
Yep.
Soldier versus Soldier, you know, would
going off the side of the map.
Would be fun to watch some of that beautiful tracking potentially come through.
That's a classic.
That's a classic. Thanks, Atlas, for that one, man. Yeah, immortalized in Overwatch history forever.
Despite the fact that so many people think that I said that.
A lot of people think I said it, too.
And neither of us have an Australian accent, so that's really weird how that works, isn't it?
Well. sure someone out there thinks like Bill Gates said that. I don't know.
Abraham Lincoln. On the attack, it's going to be the 3-3. No shenanigans here. So we'll just be standard play for both these guys. We'll be pushing up.
They're trying to do the wraparound. They get smashed by that fire strike from Ion. Oh my god. There's only one way to poke out of there, and he knew where it was going to be.
Yeah, has been building up rapidly, 10% away for that Earth Shatter now. For the right-click, shield comes up in time, denying that away from Agatha. Ion going a little bit low here. Cleston, however, falling low as well. Almost popped out of the mech. The Shatter comes down from Ion, but it only caught on to Merit, I believe. Could still result in his death, and it will as Daydream comes up with the kill, but now Jungkook will be taken down. Ion dropped. Exchange on the Rhines. Agatha eliminated. Cleston popped out of the mech and sent sailing off the side of the map. Rally going to be popped by Choi Se-won, but no one's going to be benefiting from your armor for quite some time.
That was definitely a fat finger, you would have to imagine.
I think it was just a panic, honestly. I think he intended to do it, but just maybe didn't realize that everyone else was dead.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird thing. I mean, look, they're going to get control of the cart. Busan Wave's going to give some respect here to the faster respawns and back off. But he wishes everyone got the armor right now. Yeah, as we see from from Delight on the other side.
Yeah, he pops his now. Things are looking pretty good. Armoring up, making sure Fielder's going to be okay. Pops the Transcendence as well. Bomb dropped in. Cleston going to be knocked out of the mech, and that's going to be the Graviton Surge coming through. GC Busan Wave very handedly win the fight. We'll get a stagger here onto Cleston at the end.
That was actually a pretty slick setup there because the bomb cut them in half. Well, not really in half, but cut the D.Va off from the rest of the squad. Cleston gets knocked far away, and as the D-Mech happens, there's no one to stop the grab from coming out from Jungkook, so he just tosses it in. And it's just kind of a 1-2 punch that knocks KongDoo Panthera back to the spawn. Gonna have to swing around this corner once again. Still no armor. Choi Se-won halfway to the next rally.
Shatter going to be dropped. I don't think Ion found anything with that one. Now sound barrier out from Kostos. Ion booped around. Will be taken down. Cleston able to come up with the kill. Merit pushing forward, looking to get that final 1% here for this Graviton Surge.
Delight not quite as quick on the armor packs as Alpha Yi tonight to save Ion with his aggressive playstyle, because we've been seeing so many of these moments where Ion goes down to, you know, less than 10% health and gets that heal up and then survives. Didn't happen this time.
Push back out. They will be contesting the cart here at the final stretch. Grab thrown down. Sound barriers in from Daydream. Stacking ults actually from these supports. Transcendence was used as well. Bomb from Cleston manages to find Ion. They're locking him in. They're looking for the kills. Daydream comes up with one on the Agatha. But otherwise, KongDoo Panthera still going to be 5 men strong. Bomb into the back, looking for a pickoff. Unable to find it, and Jungkook will be eliminated by Merit. Heart still halted, 2.88 meters away, but KongDoo Panthera will be rejoining. Shatter online, ready to go from True. Ritz hits the ground. Taking a lot of damage here. Armor packs coming in, trying to keep him mech up. Seems like it's going to be working as Choi Se-won and Cleston will both be taken down. Delight pinned in, will be eliminated. But the team dying around True means that KongDoo Panthera will be held at bay for now.
Yeah, Ritz gets demeched here. A nice little catch by Agatha at the end. But that's not going to be too significant. He should be able to remech fairly easily when the next attack comes through. Probably could have swapped also at this point, but hey, it doesn't really matter either way. He's building it through time, as KongDoo's going to have one more push. Fielder's got the trance.
Just needs to get these shots in, gets a couple little hits, 50%.
I mean, he's going to get it in the fight. The bigger issue is how this grab goes.
Alive. Grab does come in. Transcendence out from Fielder. Daydream and Delight. Gonna get popped all the same. Right their way into the back. Cleston under some fire, nearly loses out onto the mech. Ion now going to be taken down. It seems like KongDoo Panthera should be able to transition this into a cap on A, so will not be full held as they finish off Ritz.
Yeah, I mean, Ritz wasn't there to deny the grab, and that's the big story there, so Merit's able to come up and easily launch it. They had the trance ready, but it was kind of a 6v5 fight because of the late remech. So it did end up becoming significant. So from the grave, basically, Agatha taking that D.Va down does end up being pretty significant. So now they've got this opportunity now to keep this cart rolling. 60% of another grab gained by Merit. Geez, Busan Wave needs to be careful about letting this snowball.
Shatter coming out, but the shield is raised. Ion denies that one. Now has the opportunity for a turnaround. True going to be pushing forward, looking for the pin. Gets the hit there on the Fielder with the sound barrier. It's going to be perfect to keep him alive, and Fielder answers back. Not this time.
Not this time. True's taken down. Now they got control of the choke. Sure, it's grab against grab, but defender's advantage is massive here. As whether it's the low ground or this choke or the mine shaft, all entrances can be covered. It is going to be the low ground wraparound to the right. They actually let them through.
Grabs out both sides. Bomb's going to be dropped. Ion, you need to look behind you, and he does.
Oh
and
my
it actually
God.
will be able to survive last second.
What a tease.
Knew the timing. Just wanted to make sure he was denying the damage from the front. Finally flips over, gets rid of the bomb, and no one can kill him off.
Yep, nice picks there, counterwise from GC Busan Wave. They hold this. The cart is rolling for the moment, but they're just going to back away. And remember, look for the best fight. Not every fight, but the best fight. The rally here that's going to come out in just 1 second is going to be what allows them to reapproach the cart. Here it comes.
Rally in, armored up here for Ion. Trying to make sure that he's going to be fine. The interruption is going to be there. Tries to drop the hammer, gets absolutely zipped. Nicely done. Good approach from Delight. Keeps that one taken away. The cart still inching forward. However, now Delight going to be punished. Weston charging forward, finds that kill. Daydream skirting around the back here on the Lucio. It's going to be popped out of the mech.
Okay, this is still pretty decent for GC Busan Wave. Jungkook's high energy right now and nearly has the grab. They can't get through. Ion, nice barrier.
Yeah, perfectly timed. Ion was taking a
There's
beating.
the
Now the
grab.
grab's going to be coming down from Jungkook. Locks him in instantly. They disappear. Responding grab out. Ion going to be locked up, and the shield is raised. He'll be topped up. We're down to 8 seconds. 3 members still dead, 2 just now respawning. Solo Shatter in onto Agatha, locks him in. Sound barrier will come through from Kostos, catches him and True. But the shields do not stand a chance. True going to be burned down. Kostos is trying to zone him off the cart. And right as Kleston arrives, the clock will expire.
You can really feel the difference in playstyle between Delight, formerly God Sejong, who, for those who watched last season, same player, just changed his nickname. You could feel the difference between him on the Brigitte versus Alpha Yi. Alpha Yi is all about protecting Ion, playing a safe defensive style, and Ion is playing aggressively when he's with Alpha Yi because he knows he has that extra armor pack. Whereas when you watch Delight, he's pre-armoring Ion. He's trying to force Ion to be aggressive. He's looking for big shield bashes to lead into shatters. 2 completely different playstyles, actually. And this is the first time we've really gotten to see Alpha Yi kind of in the main front stage here, front and center, as the Brigitte player. So it's kind of cool to see how in some ways, Delight's playstyle has worked well for them on this map of Route 66, but also in other ways, how Ion is kind of struggling playing his more aggressive playstyle that we've seen for the first 3 maps, and then this time not actually having that armor pack at the last second to save him. He's died a lot more. This is kind of a cool thing to think about, some reasons why we may, going into playoffs, have some things to discuss about who would be playing the Brigitte and why. Because when we went into the series, we were thinking, oh, Alpha Yi could be some dive. Clearly, this is no longer going to be the case. He will not be playing that position anymore. He's playing a defensive Brigitte and is also playing a little bit of Sombra. So, a bit of a surprise, but I think a welcome one. For the attack here, standard 3-3 versus 3-3 defense. The tease the Pharah, not going to happen.
Not going to find anything on that initial right click either here for Agatha. I think GC Busan Wave just going to be going straight up the center, not going to go for the wraparound approach this time, but Ion will be the first one to get dropped, so maybe they do have to change something up. As Agatha just keeps on spamming out. Retreat all the way back here into the spawn. GC Busan Wave just going to look to reset.
If our calculations for playoffs are correct, this is a great start for KongDoo, who really needs this win more than anything right now.
Yep. Keep their hopes alive by picking up this final map win. Ion going so very low. Shield taking a beating as well, but he will be able to stay alive. Merit tagged up into the back. Will be able to cut his way out of there. Keeps himself safe. Push forward now. Kostos looking for that right click. Moves him off. Graviton Surge. Pulling him in onto the cart. That's going to be triple coming in. 3 members dropped as Merit finds a double kill in that mix. Ritz pop out, and he'll just have to go jump off the side of the map here at the finish.
And this is the rally choice A1 wanted. This is the armor they're going to keep. This is exactly how you want to set up on the defense. And there's just no way to really get on top of Agatha. He can play a lot more aggressively. He can look for bigger right-click damage now as a result. You can see he's just looking straight down the center. Rally coming out here for Delight.
Answering grab coming through. GC Busan wave. Locking him up. Kleston going to be dumping the bomb. Got a kill onto Ion and get rid of the shield, but now loses out onto 2 members around him, and the mech as well, taking quite a beating. He'll get popped out, and the cart can finally start to advance, it would seem, here for the side of GC Busan wave.
Now all that armor's gone. Now they've eliminated the entirety of the squad. The time bank, though, goes with it. It's a very weak time bank for GC Busan wave compared to what they would like to have to push through to A. And because of this late cart push, KongDoo Panthera will easily have enough time to respawn and come out of the mine shaft ready to contest. Not on the high ground, mind you, they'll have to fight the low ground, but at least they get this opportunity.
Pushing forward, Shatter going to be coming down from Ion, locks up Choice A1, and he will get dropped instantly. Responding Shatter is there from True, but looks like the shield was up, only managed to catch Jungkook, and he is going to be safe. True still taking a bit of damage, will be hounded down by Ion in the end as Jungkook tries to get a lockdown here onto the enemy. Lucio cost us this being a pain in the rear. Jungkook just looking for more forward members of KongDoo Panthera, burn them down, have the Lucio by himself, rejoin with everybody else, get the kill, but it's already going to be Kostos taking himself out of the fight. He goes ahead and exits.
Ooh, nice charge here on the Choice A1.
Dangerously low, right click would finish him off. Choice A1 taken out with a fire strike. Jungkook able to find Agatha. Ritz going to be knocked out of the mech and eliminated, but that's about as good as it gets for KongDoo Panthera on this defense. They're
just bleeding members out at this point, feeding more ult charge to Jungkook. Remember, True, he used that Shatter earlier, failed to do anything. He's only at 48% of a next one. That was another super aggressive move that had very low chance of actually getting anything positive for them. Had they waited for a better respawn for this choke point, for example, there's a lot of things they could have done with that instead. It's just so hard to build that when you're getting held at a choke over and over and over again. He's still only halfway there.
Pushing forward, Graviton Surge, locking them all in. Kleston popped out of the mech. The fire strike from Ritz, for Ion rather, absolutely huge. Ritz got the self-destruct. He's playing the Diva. Double kill, gets rid of both supports. The team wipe comes through. GC Busan wave just steamrolling their way down the street here, rounding the final corner. KongDoo Panthera, they have 4 ultimates online, nearly 5. I think they have to throw everything in the kitchen sink at this payload just to try to stop GC Busan wave in their tracks.
Yeah, okay, here comes their last contest. Nice flank here from Delight.
Yeah, Bastion from behind. He himself will get stunned up. The bomb from Kleston, not going to find anything. Transcendence out in onto the card here as Fielder tries to keep his team top. Ritz still going to get popped out of the mech all the same. Shatter comes down, Ion going low. Zarya Bubble keeps him alive for a little bit longer. They managed to find one back on the True Fielder, coming up with the kill. Choice A1 now going to be mowed down by Delight. Graviton Surge, however, finds Jungkook. Fielder going to be taken out. GC Busan wave, 3.17 meters away from the completion from the 4-0, will be halted. And a couple members still looking like they're going to get staggered here at the end.
Yep. Okay, so there is hope. The hope stays alive, but they have... all they've got is hope, man. They don't have any ultimates for this next push.
It's 1:45 left on the clock. Yeah. So much rides on this.
Hope is not going to stop this grab from Jungkook from going off. Okay, Agatha needs to finish this trance right now, or they are DED dead. He's looking for it. This is a good start.
This Choice A1 going to be gone. Ritz popped out of the mech. Pushing forward, Ion, another double kill on a fire strike as True and Kostos both go down. Kleston there as the baby Diva. Agatha with the Transcendence, desperately trying to buy some time. Kleston makes it back into the mech to drain just a little bit more. Swap over from Choice A1 here onto the Wrecking Ball. Will be able to arrive in time, it would seem. Boop back comes through. Can he make it back over? They lock him down, they take him out. That is going to be it. GC Busan push their way over the finish line. They get the 4-0, and now they really do leave it all up to fate for KongDoo Panthera in their hopes of making it into the round of 8. A -7 scoreline here at the finish.
Yeah, KongDoo Panthera, man, this is their worst finish, if I'm not mistaken, in the history of the org in 7 seasons of Korean Overwatch. Just ends up being...
maybe like season 1 of Apex when Uncia was actually the better team.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say that was true, I believe. I don't think Panthera made it. But what became Panthera, which was Uncia at the time before season 2.
KongDoo is an org overall.
Yes. Yes. But look, this is a rough end to what has been, you know, the 4th biggest adjustment for KongDoo Panthera roster-wise since they started all this. With GC Busan wave, they do it with Alpha E tonight. new playstyle with him and Ion looks great. Then they bring in Delight. He's got more aggressive flanking, flanking shield bashes, more aggressive setups to attack with Ion, putting the armor pack on him before he charges in, for example, with the bubble. So showing some depth here. Bringing in Jungkook once again. I don't think we'll see Jungkook in playoffs. Very unlikely, but hey, he got to play again tonight, got to show his stuff. He's obviously a very good Zarya player, had some good moments there.
Yep.
For KongDoo Panthera, I think the biggest issue was nerves tonight. They did not play to their full potential, I feel, and there was a lot of big chokes in terms of ult usage and how they committed on to these points without having all of their members or without taking the best fight possible at the last second, rather panicking and rushing to these points, bleeding off members. Numbani, I think, is the biggest glaring example of this.
Yeah.
Like, watching how they played on Lijiang compared to Numbani, it felt like two different teams. After the loss on Lijiang, they just couldn't get themselves back together and play stable.
Yeah, I mean, Horizon, very close, but in the end, wasn't really, because they got the finish, but with no time in the bank, so just kind of had to leave it up to the chance of getting a draw, mitigating their losses. They're unable to do that. Instead, do suffer the full 0-4 loss. That's going to mean the GC moves up to, I believe, a +9 score here at the end to lock in that second place. KongDoo Panthera falling down to -7.